when I look at these vehicles,
Yeah.
I've heard the terms AGV, I've heard the terms AMR, I've heard the term IMR, AGC. For those of us that maybe don't live this world every day, please tell me what the difference is. What you think is the fundamental difference between an AMR
And
and an AGV?
AGV. Okay, good question.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, it is. You know, you get
Damn
one or
right.
two a
That's
day.
a great question.
AGVs, automated guided vehicles. Automated guided vehicles have been around for 60, 70 years. I mean, they just follow a path. 60, 70 years ago, it was more of a hardware path. Like there was a wire in the ground or a digital highway or a hard highway, like a rail in the ground. Automated guided vehicles. It was following some guidance system where it's like, hey, I'm just going to really focus on that path itself and do that day in and day out. Where autonomous mobile robots, it's really allowing the technology to guide throughout the building without a dedicated path, being able to go around obstacles, being able to understand its surrounding and do something useful with that information and make its own decisions.
Go around obstacles.
Correct. Yeah.
What's an obstacle? I mean,
man, you're an obstacle. A person, trash can, a forklift, anything can be an obstacle. A warehouse is a chaotic place where, you know, it just depends. Like if something's in front of it, I understand what that is, if it's static or dynamic, and have the ability to reroute myself down that same highway, just taking it. It's like avoiding a pothole in a road. You know, you see it, you're still going to drive down the road. You're just going to go around it.
gotcha. But if I think you were kind of being funny. You're at least trying to be when you said I'm an obstacle, but you're not wrong.
1,000%. I mean, if people were predictable, this would be a lot easier game to solve, but people aren't. So, you know, a person can stand in front of the robot. We'll show that later and be able to, our robots have the ability to make a decision and drive around us. But that is a common obstacle in any warehouse because you're never going to get rid of foot traffic. We need people to run these warehouses and be a part of that environment.
So if I'm an AGV and you get in my way, I'm going to stop.
You're going to the AGV is going to win that steering contest.
It's okay. Yeah, but an AGV should stop.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
An AGV will stop. It wouldn't hit you.
It wouldn't hit you.
But I'm not going to start moving again until you amscray, right?
Yeah, exactly. If that person weren't to move, they were, like I said, the AGV is going to win that steering contest.
Okay.
In our world, we have the ability to identify that you're an obstacle and say, hey, let's look around us and see what clear path we can reassign to and go from there.
So it just keeps moving, but it's going to figure out its own path to get around.
That is one of many different things that make an AMR and AGV. An AMR also, in our case, we have the ability to look at the pallets that we pick up, identify it as a pallet and adjust to it, where an AGV just goes to identified position. And just if it's a pallet there, great, it's going to pick it up and away it goes. But there's a lot of different things. But it's a common term. It's a lot of people. Part of educating yourself about technologies, understanding AGV, AMR, all the different terminologies.
Gotcha.